Honor's quality series has always positioned itself as a flagship lineup built for portrait photography, fashion appeal, and trendy design, and its sales numbers speak for themselves. The Honor 400 series performed exceptionally well last year, and with the launch of the new Honor 500 series, it's time to break down what makes it another huge hit. A quick shout out to my tech partner from China for sharing this video. A big thank you for making this possible. Hey everyone, it's Maiky from techmaiky. If you love staying updated with the latest gadgets, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our exciting tech content. The design of the Honor 500 series was teased early on, and one of the biggest talking points was its horizontally arranged camera setup. At first glance, the layout almost feels like a sneak peek of a second-generation iPhone Air, giving it a very recognizable and unique look. This horizontal camera bar also makes room for a shorter motherboard, which in turn allows Honor to squeeze in an enormous 8,000 mAh battery. Plus, whether you're holding the phone upright or sideways, your fingers won't accidentally brush against the camera lenses, so you don't have to worry about smudges or awkward hand positions. Honor has used the same integrated cold machining process as the iPhone for the entire camera bar, allowing it to blend smoothly into the back panel. The curved transition feels seamless and premium. The mid-frame color matches the back extremely closely, making this easily one of the best-looking Honor phones yet. The rear panel uses frosted glass, which feels soft to the touch and resists fingerprints. You can choose from 4 stylish colors: aquamarine, starlight pink, moonlight silver, and key black, each suitable for anyone who loves a fashionable, gender-neutral aesthetic. The mid-frame has a slight curve on both sides, so it fits comfortably in the hand. Beneath the power button, there's a capacitive A button. Unlike the physical implementation on the Magic 8 series, the Honor 500 series uses capacitive touch paired with haptic feedback. It supports 3 gestures: single tap, double tap, and long press, allowing you to assign quick shortcuts the way you like. The phone measures 74.2 millimeters in width and 7.75 millimeters in thickness, weighing 198 grams for the standard model and 201 grams for the Pro, giving it a solid, controlled feel. And with full-level IP68, IP69, and IP69K dust and water resistance, durability is taken to the max. Turning to the display, the Honor 500 comes with a new 6.55-inch flat mid-screen with rounded corners, 1.5K resolution, and a 120Hz refresh rate. The bezels measure just 1.5 millimeters. The standard version uses a short focal in-display fingerprint sensor, while the Pro steps it up with an ultrasonic fingerprint reader. In real-world brightness tests, manual brightness reached 683 nits in the gallery, and full-screen brightness hit over 120 nits. For eye comfort, Honor uses a 3, 8, and 40 Hz ultra-high-frequency PWM dimming solution, along with mid-to-high brightness DC dimming. The Honor 500 series also includes the full Oasis eye care system, covering personalized color calibration, vertical display optimization, and features designed to relieve eye strain. If you often use your phone in dim environments, hold the screen too close, or forget to blink, Honor now includes a new eye protection monitor that reminds you to avoid harmful habits. It even comes with built-in flicker detection, which can check common home light sources to determine whether they might cause screen flicker. Surprisingly useful for daily life. As for the camera department, the Honor 500 series sticks to its large pixel strategy. Both the standard and Pro models feature a 200 megapixel main sensor sized at 11.4 inches. Even when using 2-eye zoom, the Honor 500 Pro maintains strong image clarity. The ultra-wide camera is a 12 megapixel shooter with a 16 millimeter equivalent focal length. On the Pro model, you also get a vertical 3/8 periscope telephoto lens equipped with a 50 megapixel IMX856 sensor. Since the Honor 500 Pro is built as a portrait photography flagship, we lined it up against the previous Honor 400 Pro and the Xiaomi 17 Pro for comparison. Right from the start, we noticed that the Honor 500 Pro has made a big leap forward in image processing compared to the previous generation, especially in white balance accuracy and how it handles faces. Overall, the visuals are clearly upgraded. Throughout the entire shooting session, both Honor models produced very similar results. But the 500 Pro consistently delivered more precise white balance and the most accurate rendering of those orange-red background tones. The 400 Pro still held its ground, while Xiaomi's shot looked vibrant but pushed the red tones so far that they almost spilled over. When shooting indoors, the Honor 500 Pro once again stood out with better skin tone reproduction and more accurate clothing colors. All 3 phones captured colors fairly well, but the 400 Pro's images appeared a bit darker, and Xiaomi's processing leaned noticeably cool. In this set of shots, Xiaomi's image looked lively, but the model's face and hair carried a slight bluish tint. The 400 Pro's processing wasn't as clean, whereas the 500 Pro's result came out smoother and more refined. In the next comparison, the gap widened. Xiaomi's photo heavily blurred the texture of the girl's hair and softened facial details, which affected the overall look. The 400 Pro focused more on the face, but the 500 Pro delivered a brighter, clearer image. Looking at the following set, the 500 Pro had the strongest light and shadow presentation and the brightest background. Both Xiaomi and the 400 Pro struggled with a slightly oily effect on the face, with Xiaomi's version being more noticeable and distracting. What do you think of Honor's photo performance so far? Moving on to live photos, the differences became even easier to spot. The 500 Pro benefits significantly from the upgraded algorithms compared to the 400 Pro. In this set, the 500 Pro reproduced the model's skin and clothing colors more accurately. Xiaomi also improved its color reproduction, giving a rich and eye-catching look, but its dynamic range and detail sharpness were only moderate. In the next sample group, the conclusions stayed pretty consistent. The Honor 500 Pro clearly shows major algorithmic improvements, especially in processing the environment and portraits. Xiaomi's colors are more visually appealing at first glance, but when it comes to true-to-life skin tones, Honor does a better job. After adjusting the lighting, the 500 Pro also controlled facial tones more effectively, while the 400 Pro made the model appear unnaturally pale. Xiaomi's photo was punchier but slightly soft in detail. Another upgrade worth mentioning is that the Honor 500 series now supports live view shooting in portrait mode on both the front and rear cameras. You can capture dynamic photos with beauty mode and background blur at the same time, fixing the long-standing issue where live view shots were hard to edit afterward. Even though most of our audience is male and might not focus much on selfie performance, we still had a model take a few shots with the front camera. The Honor 500 series also includes a new cinematic-style film filter, which adds a dramatic, atmospheric vibe to portraits. We tried them out, captured a few samples, and you can see how they turned out. After exploring the shooting features, let's check out what's new in post-editing. Standard live collages usually just stitch photos together with a plain, unimpressive effect. But the Honor 500 series introduces a new breaking the frame live image feature. When you create a multi-image live collage, you can cut out the subject from one of the images and layer it on top, giving the whole collage a 3D feel and visually blending the photos together. While cutting out the subject, you can even customize parameters like format, resolution, and frame rate. It's a fun tool, and with a bit of creative arrangement, you can easily make eye-catching posts for social media. There's also an advanced passerby removal feature for live images. It adds a motion-based removal option during editing. We tested it, and when the background is simple, the removal looks almost flawless. With more complex backgrounds, you may spot small traces if you look closely, but it's a solid start and will likely get better with future updates. Overall, the Honor 500 series delivers strong imaging performance. Compared to the previous generation and its competitors, the 500 Pro especially stands out in skin tone accuracy and overall image processing. On top of that, Honor added more creative shooting tools this time, like the new portrait mode, the 3D style break the frame effect for live images, and the very practical passerby removal tool, pushing live image features to a new level. There's also the super light portrait mode powered by the 200 megapixel main camera, which is both fun and useful. Definitely worth trying. Now let's talk about battery life. Thanks to the horizontal internal layout and silicon carbon anode battery tech, the Honor 500 Pro series packs an 8,000 mAh Qinghai Lake battery with 15% silicon content. Honor claims the battery density reaches up to 915 watt-hours. This single-cell design is paired with the E2 energy efficiency enhancement chip and Honor's custom battery management system. That capacity puts it among the top in today's smartphone market, and it's impressive that it fits into a 6.5-inch mid-size phone. In our 5.1 standard battery test, the Honor 500 Pro lasted 8 hours and 44 minutes on a full charge before shutting down, taking the #1 spot in our rankings yet again. The standard version lasted 7 hours and 22 minutes, placing 16th, which is still quite strong and close to some newer Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 phones with 7,000 mAh batteries. Since the base version uses a more efficient processor, it naturally delivers longer endurance with the same capacity. We've also included the detailed power consumption numbers for both models, and you can pause the screen to check them out. When it comes to performance, the Honor 500 Pro is equipped with a Snapdragon 8 Elite, which is currently the most powerful processor available in this category. The standard model uses the Snapdragon 8S Gen 4. Along with the energy-efficient E2 Pro chip we mentioned earlier, Honor has also included its self-developed C1 RF enhancement chip. The Honor Phantom engine has been upgraded to version 3.0 as well, using AR prediction to spot potential frame drops in advance and optimize resource usage, making gameplay noticeably smoother. Time to see how all of this performs in real gaming tests. Our setup was simple: a 25-degree room, locked screen brightness at 350 nits, and Wi-Fi enabled. Starting with Honor of Kings at maxed out graphics and 120 FPS, the Honor 500 Pro achieved an average of 119.9 FPS, basically a perfectly stable line. The lowest frame dip was 109.1 FPS, standard deviation was 0.6 FPS, and peak jitter hit 87.2 FPS. Power consumption averaged 3.41 watts, and the phone warmed up to around 42.5 degrees Celsius, just mildly warm, with slight brightness dimming over time. Next, we tried the trending game Delta Force at 120 FPS in HD mode. Here, the 500 Pro averaged 109.7 FPS, dropping to a minimum of 150.9 FPS. Standard deviation came in at 0.5 FPS, with peak jitter of 64 FPS. Power draw averaged 4.88 watts, and the highest temperature reached was 44.5 degrees Celsius, again with only a small drop in screen brightness. We also tested the 120 FPS Ultra HD mode in Golden Shovel Battle. The 500 Pro averaged 118.9 FPS, dipping to 93 FPS at worst. Standard deviation was 3.1 FPS and peak jitter hit 58.6 FPS. The phone consumed an average of 4.07 watts and peaked at 42.7 degrees Celsius with minimal brightness reduction. Under the most demanding conditions, not a world's high-intensity battle mode at max settings, the phone averaged 59.4 FPS with a minimum of 49.1 FPS. Standard deviation was 0.8 FPS, peak jitter was 29 FPS, and power consumption rose to 6.34 watts. Temperature climbed to 47.6 degrees Celsius, but the device maintained the preset 350 nit brightness with only a small dip. All of this makes it clear that the Honor 500 Pro is a strong performer even in heavy games. On top of that, it supports 90 FPS AI super frame and 1.5K AI super resolution to boost smoothness and sharpen character textures. For anyone who wants precise control, the built-in game assistant lets you fine-tune touch sampling rate, swipe sensitivity, and other parameters to improve responsiveness. From these real-world tests, the Honor 500 Pro's gaming experience goes beyond what I expected from a phone in this price range. Some competitors are still using older N2 generation processors, and you can feel the performance gap. Honor didn't go that route. They went all in with a higher-tier Snapdragon 8 chip, giving the phone better peak performance, cooler operation, and longer battery life in everyday use. It also makes multitasking and complex high-load scenarios noticeably smoother. When it comes to charging, both models in the Honor 500 series support 80-watt wired charging with dedicated gaming charging mode. The Pro version also includes 50 watts wireless charging. Honor has been consistent about offering wireless charging on its Pro models for the last few generations, and it's great to see it continue here. At 25 degrees room temperature, back using the included charger, the Honor 500 Pro reached 21% in 10 minutes. It took 64 minutes to fully charge, with 39 minutes needed to hit 100%. Total power intake was 35.6 hours, peak charging power reached 67 watts, and the average power at 100% sat at 30 watts. The highest device temperature during charging was 43.2 degrees Celsius. In our third-party charger compatibility test, the Honor 500 series performed well with 3 Huawei chargers and Vivo's 120-watt charger. With chargers like Meizu 80 watts, Cooler Master 140 watts, Anker 140 watts, Cooler Master 120 watts, Vivo 120 watts, and Vivo's 100-watt multi-port charger, the phone maintained a stable fast charging output of around 53 to 65 watts. Even Oppo's 100-watt Little Red Name charger delivered 43 watts. The Honor 500 series comes with Magic OS 16 pre-installed. In our review of the Magic 8 series, we talked about the new custom transparency mode and the refreshed design language, which finally modernized the interface. The personalized lock screen styles now match current trends much better and appeal directly to the younger target audience. Honor's Yo-Yo AI remains one of the more practical phone AI assistants out there. Paired with the Anywhere Door feature, it becomes an incredibly powerful everyday tool. For example, if you see an outfit you like on Xiaohongshu, you can long press and drag it to the Anywhere Door on the side of the screen to instantly find shopping links. If you want to save a wallpaper, just drag it over. No more screenshotting someone else's posts. Yo-Yo A memory has also received improvements. You can swipe down with 3 fingers or tap the Yo-Yo notification to save content. It will automatically analyze, categorize, and organize it. Posts and videos from social platforms like Weibo, TikTok, and Xiaohongshu sync directly into Yo-Yo AI memory, making it way easier to search and revisit saved content. The Honor 500 series also includes 6 new Yo-Yo Milk Dragon character themes, along with customizable Milk Dragon voice options. This might be the cutest AI implementation I've ever seen. All in all, the Honor 500 series offers a well-rounded experience built around balanced hardware and smart software. On the outside, you get a premium unibody cold-carved design. On the inside, you get a Snapdragon 8 Elite chip and a 200 megapixel main camera that together deliver a high-end feel. It strikes an ideal balance across design, build, handling, performance, battery life, and imaging, making it one of the most complete all-around phones at this price point. Pricing starts at 2,699 yuan for the base Honor 500, which is roughly $209 in the UK and about $380 in the US. The Honor 500 Pro starts at 35,599 yuan, around $380 in the UK and roughly $507 in the US. For a deeper dive into our full review, make sure you subscribe and join our tech community. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.